approval of minutes from September 27th. Everybody gets a copy of that in their packets. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes? Approved. Do we have a second? Any discussion on the minutes? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Minutes are approved. Chairman's report. I'd like to wish everybody a happy holiday season, and thanks for coming this close to Christmas. But everybody could make it today. Chairman's report. I just have a couple of things today. I received this letter in the mail from the State Fire Marshal, and just to let you know, the State Fire Marshal Association of Louisiana will hold its third annual Day of the Races on March 22nd, 2013 at the fairgrounds in New Orleans. And individuals are allowed to attend this, and there are $100 per couple. So this is to support the State Fire Marshal Association, and the letter came from Good Friend. So if you guys, I'll pass this around. If you or somebody interested in doing that. The other thing I wanted to discuss briefly today, and I talked to Sandy about it, is having the board join the NFPA.
We talked about that. We had for several years.
What do we have to do?
We weren't getting anything out of it. I mean, it was a membership.
Well, here's the thing. What you do get is you get this magazine. And the articles that they've been having in the magazine are on interior life safety and fire code. Like in this particular issue is the Coconut Grove fire in Florida. And they actually go into quite a good bit of detail about what caused the fire. And they're going to use this as a special every month. And they're going to focus on mostly interior fires and life safety. So
You get it every month?
those are quarterly. Let's see what it is. It is
I thought we just had one line.
We had a membership, but we did not
it's
receive a.
like this is November, December.
Okay.
We did not receive a magazine.
Maybe we can call up and talk to them. Yeah, tell, because I don't know why we're getting the magazine. We're members of the fire.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
What's that right there?
It's the color card.
There we go. So I think since these are very germane articles, that this would be a good thing for us to take a look at.
It'd be nice if we had electronically that actually give information related on the website, and people were interested in looking.
I think that would be a great idea.
To give them some, we had the permission, of course.
Right, exactly.
Use that, but.
Right, but it's copyrighted, I'm sure. They actually, in this issue, have photographs of the fire and photographs of the actual Coconut Grove restaurant. And I'll pass this around so you guys can look at it. Let me see if you can find that article and send that around. I think that's all the old business that I had. Administrator's report, Sandy?
Just a few things. Obviously, processing renewals. I also wanted to let you know that I have been in communication with IDC, just further communication from what we talked about at the last meeting about getting approval on courses. And they're kind of slow in getting me back information. But apparently there is a process for a non-IDC approved option so that our licensees could add that class to their transcript. But I'm not quite clear exactly on that process yet, so as soon as I get that information, I'll be in the next thing. But I did want to say that it was an item that I brought up at the NCIDQ conference when IDCEC was in the room. The fact that a licensing board or the licensing boards in general were left out of the big picture. And that ultimately a licensee CEU requirement their first priority is to the licensing board, not to a professional organization. And then I felt it unfortunate that the licensing boards weren't involved in the complete process.
Did you say that at the meeting?
Yes, I did. And from that, I'm now really great friends with, what's her name now? VP. IDA VP. Oh, really beautiful lady. Always has her hair slicked back. Cheryl, yes, thank you. Cheryl Durst pulled me aside, and I felt bad about her name. And she said that that certainly was not the intention at all, and that as a licensing board, when we needed approval for a CEU course, to contact her directly, because IIBA can help us with the process. So it sounds like we'll figure out exactly what that we'll figure out exactly what that means when we get closer to it.
Has anybody actually logged on to their account? And how is it user friendly?
It is user friendly. There's the process that's not friendly because nobody actually knows what it is that they're supposed to be doing. But I've gone through, I've actually talked to numerous people about, because like I'll get CEUs that have the old IDCC number on it, and I'll just email whoever it is on the postcard for whatever company it is. I'm like, you do know there's a new process, just making sure you do this, because otherwise people aren't going to get credit for it. And I went back and forth with the SID, they didn't know the whole process, I went back and forth with them a couple of times. So it's the process that's confusing, but I did have to go in and backlog some two CVs that I had taken before they started to go online. And that was really just a matter of filling in the date and the time and the presenter, and then scanning in the certificate or whatever. And they do have a whole system for non-IDCEC, and that's really the only reason to do that is just to keep track of it yourself. Because it's not going to count towards IIBA or SID, the people who are actually looking at it or whatever. It's really just to track it for yourself. So if you are taking CEUs that don't actually for IDCEC, you just fill in the application and scan the certificate and it shows up in the transcript.
So IIBA will not take it even if you stick it through the IDCEC registry?
Not if it's not an official IDCEC course.
We can approve, of course. This would be LSBID approved. So count for hours.
Right, but then there's no reason to scan it in into that transcript because you're not going to be looking at.
Right, but it just still goes back to, for example, if we have our state fire marshal do a 5-hour building code, fire code, an FPA, whatever, I think it would be kind of rude to say to Butch, you're going to have to give us a timed outline and $300 that we need to submit to IDCEC for them to approve this course. So.
No, we can.
No, we can have it.
We
We can have it.
Right, but you're not going to have licensees going to want to come sit to listen to Butch's office talk for 5 hours if they then have to go to another CEU. I'm pointing to you because you belong to IIBA, but I don't mean you. They're not going to come to an FPA or a building code or whatever that's not IDCEC approved, because then they're going to have to sit through another 5 hours to meet their professional
But I think
organization.
that we as a board could pay for it to be approved to get an IDCEC number.
And I don't think it's the money so much as it isn't my concern. It's the fact that you have to get a timed outline from the speaker ahead of time, and within a certain amount of window has to be submitted to IDCEC. Even though the whole thing is from the state fire marshal, you still have to substantiate what it is. That's what I'm trying to work on with,
Right.
yeah.
You know, maybe we should put a letter together to both ASID and IIBA to explain that we will have things like the state fire marshal come and make presentations to us, and that we want them to accept what we've accepted on those.
Or like the most credentialed building code inspector in the state of Louisiana provided CEU for 5 hours. And
And we're gonna say.
I kind of like how dare IDCEC even question that that's a health, safety, welfare, that we would have to ask this man to submit
Apply.
for approval to an outside
I think
organization.
what we'll do is we'll put a letter together and explain the situation to both ASID and IIBA, and at least express our concern about it. actually also keep my CEs on the AIA website as well, and that's very user-friendly, so. They can work well.
That's all that I have.
Okay. Legal report, Annabelle?
All right, at some point, I do need to discuss a pending investigation, so I would ask that we go into, executive session pursuant to that portion of the executive session, exceptions to the executive session.
I'll make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss that.
You second? All in favor?
I'm sorry, I have to do a roll call for this.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Sawyer,
In here.
you're voting.
Oh, I'm voting?
Yes, to go into
Yes.
executive session. No.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Hazel,
Yes.
Ms. Ina,
Yes.
Ms. Lamb.
Yes.
Ms. Steinmetz.
Yes.
It's unanimous. We're in executive session.
Richie, is it pretty else?
Well,
On the way?
she's over here.
We still have time.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
a quorum, as long as
yeah.
we have 4 board members. So please exit the room.
I make a motion that we go back into regular.
Okay.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Sure. Ms. Ritchie?
Yes.
Ms. Sawyer?
Yes.
Ms. Hazel? Here. Ms. Eno?
Here.
Ms. Lamb?
Yes.
Ms. Steinmetz?
Yes.
Okay, we're back in regular session.
Okay. All right, so make a motion that we do nothing at this time.
You have a
We
second?
do not.
Second.
Regarding.
No legal
Can't hear.
action.
Yeah, no legal action.
A second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Anna, do you
Yeah.
have anything more to report?
Yes, just basically, this is December, we will be having a legislative session coming up, so we'll try to monitor to see what's going to happen in the session. I'm not aware of anything is, but again, I want to make everybody aware if you do hear anything about any legislation that comes affecting interior designers, professional or architects even. If you're working with an architect and they start getting upset about us, or getting excited even, that may affect interior designers too, so please let us know so we'll be on the lookout. Because a lot of times the architect stuff is beyond us because we're not looking for architect issues. And
Although
those,
as an AIA associate, I get all the emails.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so several of us are monitoring that.
And that's what I'm saying is if you see something, please let us know.
And we're a member of the AGC, we get stuff on that.
Right, so I
And-
think we got bases covered on that.
And also, this has been the anniversary, or the anniversary coming up, not sure, of the Wall Center fire.
It just happened, yeah.
Yeah.
Last month.
And that was actually one of the articles in the answer, so.
Well, I did check with the, what was the MTA thing, Ronald, yeah. They do have the report available at a cost of $30. I didn't know the board wanted to obtain that just for our records. Everybody's familiar with Wall Center.
I think that's a good idea. Do you have a motion?
Yes, they have the full report on the cause. Apparently, according to the gentleman I talked to, there was an issue with the paneling, for example, being too flammable, as well as obviously there were no exits available on the Wall Center. So that I'll go ahead and request that we have that for our records.
So do we have a motion to, do we have a second on that motion? Second. Any more discussion on it?
Should we, I'm just gonna ask, should we like maybe put that on the website, just put a link, yeah, or something, and just explain, like, you need to know that this building was built in such a default manner, to make people aware.
Well, it's one of the main reasons that we do have fire codes in this state as well as other states. And they do not have it in electronic fashion. Some things are available in case you ever want to look at a report. They do have some that are electronic in nature on the website. You go there, you can pull it down. This one was never put in electronic fashion. If you'd like, we can see if they'll give us permission to put it in electronic and post it, because I think that people always ask, why do we have these codes? What's the purpose of it? And the YouTube video clip is available for those who really, it's very, yeah. Well, it's not gory.
So this is the article on Coconut Grove fire.
You see people jumping out of the window on the fourth and fifth floor of the Wall Center.
So we're gonna go ahead and join and
There was-
get information on that.
And there was an article in the paper.
again?
Yeah, this is the.
Somebody interviewed.
The survivor, yeah, they talked to her about what it had done and everything that had happened, and it's a very moving story. Considering that that's been, how long ago was it?
Oh, I think it was just for 30. No, it was the
No,
40 year.
it was
It was the 40 year.
4-year anniversary.
So I think we have a motion and a second on the table. Can we vote on that?
No.
All in favor?
Alright.
Opposed? Motion carries, thank you. And that's all now.
But you know, if you subscribe to that, then maybe take an article out every month or what, however often it comes, and maybe put it on the website, like
You
just.
have to get permission for
Oh,
all.
Yeah, that's what we were talking
yeah,
about.
that's what we're talking about. So, okay, just, but like, I'm doing something different, just to make people aware.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. Now, are you talking about just a magazine or renewing our membership to NFPA? We had it before.
Can you get just a magazine?
Uh,
I don't think you can.
No,
We had the
magazine.
membership before, right?
Right. But
But
they
we
recently
never got
started with these articles, which I think are very applicable for interiors, so, I think we should re-up the membership. Thank you, Anna. New business, budget report, Ms. Hazel.
Okay, you'll all have a budget in front of you. Anybody have any questions on the report?
Is there anything that needs to be pointed out?
The renewals are coming in, so we have, money in that line item, renewals.
Is that about where we are usually?
We actually have had more renewals come in to date than the same number of days last year.
Yes, what do we attribute that to?
Send them out cards.
I hope because people are
Miss
not
Sandy
waiting
done
until
such
the
a
last
great
minute.
job on.
But not only that, you took that class late, like the class was late, so it just makes people more aware. So they just kind of, when you saw that, you just mail it in.
Well, you know, I think one of the things is we had a tremendous amount of people who already had their CEUs on file in our office, and it's a lot easier to renew when you don't have to find the 5
Oh,
hours.
yeah, you just fill out that sheet and send it,
Yeah.
and check.
Did you send out reminders?
I sent an email reminder yesterday.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the budget?
I second. You can do it.
Yeah. Any more discussion on the budget? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Karen. Let's see. Review of applications for inactive status. And we have 3. Brittany Hoolan, Ricky Green, and Sarah Pistorius.
You want to take them separately? We have Brittany, and she is currently staying at home with her twin baby girls and is not working. So she's requesting inactive status.
And then when she goes back to work, she needs to.
She will have to follow the rules of inactive status, or that you have to maintain your 5 hours of CEUs each year. So in order for her to, you can go on inactive status for up to 4 years, and at the end of that time, you have to submit a new application that comes before the board for you guys to approve them to return to active status. And at that time, they have to submit their 5 hours for each of the 4 years
That they were not.
that they were not.
You do that so far.
And you send that to them, like in the letter when they get.
Yes, and actually it actually says that on the application that they fill out. It tells them all of their requirements. And then once you approve, if you approve this, then I'll send her mail tomorrow and begin reminding her. And then in January, 1 year before their term expires, if you want to say, I send certified mail. Just reminder, this is your last year, here's what you have to do, it has to be submitted by this date or you're no longer licensed with all of them.
And the requirement for NCAQ passes, right?
Yes, absolutely, it says in there that if you've not taken the NCIDQ exam, you don't renew by such and such a date, then you have to sit for the exam in order to reapply.
Do you remember, are all these NCIDQ certificate holders?
No, the same statement goes out to everyone. So if you're not, we don't, well, I mean, I know Brittany is because of when she became licensed, but, that's not, information that we necessarily have available on, I sent it to you.
All right, do we have a motion to approve Brittany Hewling's data for inactive status? Good second?
Can I ask this though? Can they go to the classes every year and just keep an accumulation of them? Oh, okay.
That's the
I mean,
point.
it's not, yeah.
That's the point to keep your CEs up to date.
Then you
Otherwise,
don't have any problems.
Then you don't have
yeah.
problems.
Assuming you pass the exam too. So. Any more discussion on Brittany? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Ricky Bedreen?
Ricky Bedreen is a situation where he is retiring, but I'm not sure that he has his NCIDQ exam, because when I spoke to him about you may not, if you don't have your NCIDQ and you want to retire, if you let your license lapse for so long, you won't be able to have a license. And so I told him about the inactive status that gave him 4 years to decide if he did want to come back, it was an easy back in. So that's why he's applying for inactive
Does he have to
status.
sit for the exam?
Not if you approve him on inactive status for 4 years.
He just needs to do the CEs.
Yes.
Where's he from, Lafayette?
I know that, right here in Baton Rouge. I went to LSU. He lives in Galvez.
He went to LSU in design?
I can tell you, he went to LSU, yes, he graduated in 1975.
Well, that's the year I graduated. But he was in my class.
He's saying another word, we're moving on.
He wasn't in my class. I don't know who that is. He got a bachelor's in charity fund. It's his fine arts.
So do we have a motion to approve inactive status for Ricky Bedreen? So that was Drew. Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Any more discussion?
If you want to look at his file, you can. Pass this first.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. And Sarah Pistorius?
Yes, she's got some medical issues. I'll pass this around that you guys can read, so her personal's on. That shows up as Okay, I said I wasn't sure.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Oh,
he does.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
And his name is on.
So do we have a motion to approve the inactive status for Sarah Pistorius? Do we have a second? Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So Sandy, you send each one a letter?
Yes, ma'am. We'll each get a letter tomorrow, in tomorrow's, going out in tomorrow's mail, reiterating what their application says about the fact that now your application has been approved. You can return on inactive, you can maintain inactive status for up to 4 years. During that time, your licensing fee is suspended, but you have to continue getting your, puts it all out there.
Thank you, Sandy. NCADQ report, TL?
Yes. Well, Sandy and, attended the, council delegates meeting in, Chicago. It was really a pretty exciting meeting. The new board was announced, which includes Victoria Horben from Ontario is the president-elect. Lori McCrae from Georgia was elected as a director, and T.L. Ritchie from Louisiana was elected as a director. So I'll step up to that position in January. But I did attend board meetings as a guest before and after. So that was my last meeting as a delegate.
So Carolyn is now going to be the official delegate?
I think so.
Yeah, that's a new chairman.
Yeah, Carolyn went, she's been the alternate delegate. So I can't serve as delegate while I'm on the board.
Right, so I think after your report, maybe we need to also appoint an alternate delegate. Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Well, and so whether I become the
Yes, we'll take care of both of those things.
Okay, there were a good showing of states, only 7 of the constituent members were not there, so there was a good group of delegates. And there also, because it was in Chicago this time, IIDA hosted the meeting, and that venue was really well accepted by people, so that we had a lot of the issues forum was going to meet afterwards, which is the top people in all of the different professional organizations, IIDA, ASID, CDC of Canada, CETA, IDEC, and NCIDQ all meet after this meeting. So there was a lot of representatives, and they were invited to sit for the whole council delegate conference. So it was very productive. One of the things that they went through was talking about, the attribute. That meeting was very well organized. They talked about the attributes of NCIDQ, and one of them being the staff, which right after the meeting, it was announced that the executive director, Jeff Kenny, is going to resign. So he has given his 90-day notice, so in February, he'll step down. So that means that the board is doing a search now for a new executive director. And that's ongoing. There was a lot of discussion about the new exam. A lot of changes, and I think really positive changes have happened that I think we've discussed, but that this year it goes into effect, the new organization of the multiple choice section. So the first section is now called the fundamentals, or IDFX. It is material knowledge that you learn, and learn a lot of it through your education. So and then the second section is the IDPX, which is the professional part of the exam. So it's the same material, they're just separating it out so that recent graduates can sit for the first section of the exam, covering the material that they had learned in their education. Then they go into their work experience, and they take the second section, the IDPX, at the same time as they used to, once they've completed their work experience. And the practicum remains unchanged. It is still a one-day hand-drafted exam that will be held in the same manner. Now, the other major change is that the multiple choice sections, both sections, will now be given on a computer. So what that means is there will be more than one sitting each 6-month section. So it's about a 2-week period. It's not going to be offered all the time like the ARE, but it will be at the Prometric, I think is the name of it. There will be a link on the NCIDQ site where their testing sites are. So the testing sites have increased dramatically, and it'll be about a 2-week, about the same time, right after the other test, the practicum, that people can sit for it. Now the transition for that is they have notified there's about 300 people that have taken one of the sections but not passed both. So they have a year, 2013, to pass the other section. So that's 2 sittings. If they don't pass it in that time period, then they need to restart and take the new sections in the future.
Where will these be given?
At the Prometric sites,
And where are they?
they're the people who give the lead exam.
Okay.
I'm not sure, I don't think they do NCIDQ or NCARD.
Yeah,
They do NCARD?
that's how we got them, because they're the same ones that Jeff knew from.
Okay, and there's like, I want to say
There's
300
usually
sites.
one in every big city.
Yeah, we have them here.
So
around.
probably Baton Rouge, New
Yeah.
Orleans.
Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
We can look, they're gonna put, it wasn't done, but they're gonna put a link with their testing sites on
On
NCIDQ.
January, it'll be on the website.
And we should put it on our website too.
Yeah,
It'll make the test taking a lot more accessible, more easily accessible.
Right, and I think that the idea that students, when they graduate, can sit for at least one portion of this is a really good idea.
Everybody was enthusiastic.
yeah, and we can talk a little bit about visiting the schools this fall, which we did. Yeah, the response, I think, has been very positive, and I think it's going to make a big difference. It really is a big change. And an aside, during the whole Council of Delegates, I had been the chair of the IDEP task force for NCIDQ, and we had worked on doing some marketing material and reaching out to faculty and the schools. And we're doing a pre-conference workshop at IDEC this spring. And so one of the things that we did was engage, we were going to do other schools. It turned out at the timing of it, we just did LSU. Some of the educators on the committee and I worked on it. We had the LSU seniors do videos, much like the competition that NCIDQ sponsors with IDEC and CEDA. Well, we did videos on the new exam and how they would market. They had to do the research themselves and how they would market the new exam. We didn't show any of these here, did we? I
They're
could bring.
so fun.
I can bring them in, and it turned out, I sent them to Jeff just because we were talking about this pre-conference workshop, And he got real excited about them, and they ended up showing 4 of them at the conference of delegates. So, and everyone was really excited about them. And they were
How
all
long were they?
They're only 2 to 3 minutes.
One of them was on IDEP.
Yeah, they're all about the new
Different
exam and
things.
IDEP, yeah. So
They were really cute, they were well done.
So that was exciting. Louisiana was well represented at the conference. The Teague Award was given out to Dr. Karen Martin of Minnesota. And then we had a long discussion dealing with the name change. We discussed at our last meeting the change from NCIDQ, that the corporate name would be CIDQ. Excuse me, remember the reason for that is in trademarking it. Because the membership wanted to use the appellation NCIDQ, which they have not been able to do in the past, the mechanism to do that legally is the corporate name has to be different. Well, we had also discussed in years past the whole issue that it isn't really national, it's international because of Canada, it being a joint organization. So they dropped the N for the corporate name. So the corporate name will now be the Council of Interior Design Qualifications. And we did vote before, and we had an issue about who is giving the test, the legal issue, but the test is going to remain NCIDQ. And people can use that as an appellation now. But what we have to do today is vote on making the changes. We voted on the changes to the articles before, and now we need to, articles of corporation. Today we need to vote on this change to the bylaws.
With what changes?
The name will be the Council of Interior Design Qualification, not national.
The NCIDQ will only be used as an appellation and as a marketing tool.
As long as y'all understand that, we'll have to deal with that either through the statute or with regulations.
Right, and I think we need to take the information back that TL's just given us right now, because we are still working on the rules and regs. So hopefully we can tie that
Put it in.
and just do one package with the whole update.
Hold on, I'm confused, so I thought you said at the convention they changed.
That's what I thought.
They discussed it before, and we voted last time, we discussed it, and Anna looked into it, but we ended up, the delegates voted. You can't vote at the meeting, you have to have 90 days. So the delegates voted to change the Articles of Corporation to reflect CIDQ as the corporate name. Okay. Now we have to make the same change to the bylaws. There's 2 things. So we have to have that ballot in by January 13th. So I wanted to bring it before the board.
Yeah, it needs to be on the agenda.
Okay, so this will be on the agenda for January, right?
We don't need to do that.
Then should we move to meet earlier?
They just won't show us as voters.
My understanding is that TL was the delegate, and her role was to vote on your behalf. I don't think that you.
Oh,
as
you
the
have to
board-
vote, I just need to
I don't
have
think that
their
the board has to
discussion.
vote, because you're the person that votes.
That's true.
You
Yeah.
just can ask them for their input, but you're the decision maker,
Well, I
because
think
you're the
they
delegate.
have to change the name, they have to do that.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I think
It's
I don't know
going
why
to-
we were voting anyway.
yeah, I think
That's
as long
fine.
as we're all in agreement, TL will just.
I'll just
check
cast
the
that ballot.
Unless they voted there and have everybody voted individually.
No.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring it up for discussion
that's
with the
true.
board.
No,
Okay.
that was not the case.
So once that happens, then we'll be able to use the appellation?
Yes, Well, the second discussion that came up with the delegates, they're also doing, in the work plan this year, one of the major things they're doing that's quite exciting is new branding, looking to refresh, get more marketing out there, with the economy the way it was. Oh, use it already?
Well,
you can't use it as
now, but you're not supposed to, technically,
Not at
but
the
everybody
end of
does.
your name as an explanation, like you do with ASID.
I think you can put NCIDQ
Yeah.
certificate part of
Yeah,
it,
that's what I
the
see
really
all the
long
time.
one, but
Right.
people wanna do just the NCIDQ.
And it gets to be very lengthy by the time you can put all your credentials on there.
I mean, for us, because we have licensing, people usually put Louisiana registered interior designer number 123. But for those jurisdictions in Canada and the U.S. who don't have licensing, that number becomes very important to them. It's the only way that they can distinguish themselves as having qualification. So, anyway, they showed the delegates the new marketing and branding, and there was discussion because they had the NCIDQ logo will be the same, except for remember it has clipped edges. The clipped edges will just be on the other side. And they did have it NCIDQ, the logo, and then certified underneath. And a lot of the delegates did not want that on there. They're concerned about it conflicting with their licensing. So there was a straw vote, and the delegates requested that be taken on. So the executive director had to talk with the trademark attorneys, and it was told to us before I left, not at the council of delegates, but at the board meeting, that is okay. So it looks like everything will go ahead. As soon as that paperwork is done and this vote is done, I mean, everything else is getting lined up, so they'll notify everyone when they can start using it as an
We'll
operation.
put that on our
And
website as well.
you have to have your certificate actively reinstated for that year in order to use the appellation. So there's criteria that NCIDQ is rolling out with it.
Right, and there also will be CEU criteria, but what they're gonna do is it will just be, they're going to accept whatever continuing education that you need for your state or your professional organization. And if you don't belong to either of those, there will be a minimum that you have to do to keep current.
That piece went away when we took the certified off of the.
No.
But what they hadn't worked out was who's going to monitor and police all of that. So they haven't put that part of the puzzle in place yet, but it's being considered.
So again, these are pretty significant accomplishments, I think, that they're doing to address.
You know, what they could do is they could, on your application, you have to put your CEUs that you got and the testing file that you did, so that it's self-reporting, if you will, but, you know.
Okay.
I can say is that I deal with 500 licensees submitting their CEUs. I would not want to be the person that is NCIDQ. You assign all the CEUs.
25,000.
25,000.
You know, they're gonna have to have some kind of self-reporting.
Yeah. Well, if there's the
They don't
issue
have
of the
the
new
staff.
IDCC, which people are nice about, but. The other thing is they're doing a lot of other marketing research. They have one of the new tenants in their office space is a branding and graphic design firm. So they've got a group of graduate students at Georgetown University. You know how graduate students are like in business or they put together identity packages, and that's part of their project. So they have a class doing that, doing surveys for them and putting together some marketing strategies. And so it's very interesting.
So overall, how can we benefit from NCIDQ as a state?
Well, and that's part of the package that they want to get out. So,
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of benefits we get.
now, I know you
Well, I
asked.
think one of the benefits is the exam.
The exam.
That's a big benefit, and it's universal, so everybody can sit for it. And the second is, we can get the IDP program working, and we can plug our students in as they graduate and help them matriculate along to licensure. So I think those are the two main things, I think.
I think they're realizing that their core reason for being in this world is
To support the
providing that
licensing
test.
boards.
And it's a measuring stick, it's a measuring rod for everyone else. Everybody uses it. It's the standard by which we are judged. And that's a good, they're doing an excellent job of maintaining that function.
One of the other things I just thought of is they actually do a survey of what interior designers do every 5 years. So they update what they call a body of knowledge. So they're doing research on our behalf about where the profession is going, what are we knowing, what are we learning in school, what are we learning on the job site. So they're doing some research to help support the effort.
And where is that research going? Is that
It's on their website in the practice
The
analysis.
practice analysis every 5 years. I think you can order it. We should probably order one.
Should.
That's a good
They
idea.
use that too.
Yeah.
we
We need to.
spending all this money doing all, we need to use them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If we
I
can
think that's a
benefit
good
from
idea.
that.
We pay a lot of money to those people, right?
And I think the practice analysis is good to share with all of our licensees.
Yeah, but you don't have to.
And they do that to update the test and
For instance, when I was in Chicago, this is 4 or 5 years ago, we met with NCARB and discussed with them their process for updating their exam and our process for updating our exam. And the processes are pretty much similar. So there was a mutual respect because the process is similar and the process is the same. And they talked psychonutrition stuff, so that got beyond them.
Well, and what happened at this meeting too, the Nevada board, always sends all their people. And one of them, well, the chair was an architect, was an NCAR member, and one of the board members is going to sit, I think, on the NCAR board. So they were there, and one of the presentations was about the new test, and they gave all these examples and example questions and how the test is set up. And everybody was so impressed with the body of knowledge that is being